Really? Why?
It's because I become a real fucking asshole if you don't.
I mean, I guess I can cut it out. I didn't even sit down yet.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's still pretty rough out here, but we'll be alright.
Alright. Okay. Bye.
Alright, talk to you later.
Welcome back. Thanks for coming. It's the Hotline Show. 79th one, maybe 81st, depending on how you're counting and where we left off and what I said. Today is October 19th, 2025. What a week, right? How was your week? What did you do? I can't even talk about what I did this week, as you heard. I mean, it was a crazy week, and a lot of the stuff I really can't say yet or at all. We'll see, maybe in the future. But because of that, we're just going to move right along. We're going to get into the show. If you don't know, it's the Hotline Show. People call the number. It's in the description below. They leave a message. They ask a question. Usually it's about photography, but hopefully it's about anything else. Please. What is there even left to talk about with photography? There's plenty other channels you can go to with guys who like cameras, and they go on adventures, and then they tell you about a Sony camera. Go there, just type how to photography in the search bar, and you'll find one of them, and I'm sure it'll be really good. Here, we talk about a lot of other shit. We're just going to get into it. We've got 2 calls today. We're going to make it quick, make it easy. It's Sunday, you can go out, go to the farmer's market, maybe. First call, Julie.
Hi, Noah. Just saw your post on Threads with your picture that you've got all these people making comments that it's AI. I just wondered if you could talk about that and how you feel about that for a little bit. It's kind of interesting. I don't think it's very complimentary, but wonder what you think. Anyway, that's all. Bye for now.
Julie, thanks for that call. Yeah, that post on Threads. One of my most successful Threads posts of all time. It was of my dining room table. I take it every October, between like October 10th and October 15th. It's just the way the sun and the light happens to come into that room. I'm sure you've seen it. Unless you're new here, I'm going to put up a video. I took a couple of videos while I was taking the photo. It's real. You know, what's not real is I set up the stuff. That room usually looks like a fucking mess. So I clear everything out. I bring in plants. So I stage it a bit. I used to grow dahlias, so I used to put flowers on the table. I didn't really do any flowers this year. But that's the dining room table shot, and I think I've done it for about 10 years now. And it's real. I shoot it on my Phase 1 camera, medium format. Did this one handheld. Usually, in the past I would do it on a tripod, but I'm becoming more and more of a lazy shooter. I want to do as little as I possibly can. So I didn't even really prepare that much for this shot. I noticed the light was looking good, so I just went and threw things together. So of course, it's probably one of my least favorite ones of all time. So of course, it becomes the biggest one, at least on Threads. Metrics, numbers, who cares? That's not really the point. Over on Threads, where because of the algorithmic feed that we all know, it sort of encourages context collapse. And if you don't know what context collapse is, it's when something you post for your audience that you pretty much know who they are. I mean, I'm mostly am followed by cool people, photographers, artists, designers, some tech people, and they know me and they know my work. But the algorithm sends it way outside my normal realm of followers. And then people start coming in who don't know who I am. And, that's okay. But what happens when people don't know who they're talking to, they assume the worst. I think that's pretty much what happens, is you just are automatically on the attack on platforms like that, especially when things are being introduced into your feed by people you don't know. You're like, who the fuck is this? I don't like them. You don't want to like them. You want to fight them. They saw this picture. A lot of people thought it was AI. I was actually kind of thinking that a little bit. Like, I wonder if people will think this is AI, just in the back of my head. We're now so overburdened and overrun with images, image fatigue, and we've seen so much. And when things look too good to be true, that you're just going to think that it's AI. And this is one of the major problems, I think, with AI is there's so much of it now. It's really good. It's hard to know what is real and what is fake. So now everyone is under the assumption that pretty much every picture that they see, and very soon every video, is fake. With photography, like, if you do it right, if you care enough, you can make it look really good. And that's what AI does. It I mean, I guess you can prompt shitty photo, shitty quality photo or something. But AI, especially with hyper photorealistic AI, it's going to make it look better than reality. And I think that scene is very, very magical, the light. And I use fog spray, atmosphere aerosol. So I fog up the room with that, so it makes the light stream in. It's less insulting and just more frustrating. What is the point of this? If I can't make a real photo and people are just going to assume that it's fake, why even bother? It's really depressing. I'm no stranger to people saying that my work often looks like a painting. And that's kind of a funny, compliment-ish. I never really take it as an insult because paintings are usually good. I mean, and photography is usually bad. So if someone's like, that photo looks like a photo, well, that's almost not good. But if a photo looks like a painting takes time, and a painter cares. And there's just something about the tones and people will think painting is better than photo. So when someone says my photos look like a painting, I'm like, cool, thank you. That means a lot. And I know what you mean. When your photo looks like AI, well, it's why, I might as well just type in what the kind of photo I want and do that, because fuck it. Who cares about photography? That's kind of where we're going, I think, in a way. And that's how it's going to be going forward. I mean, that photo is now being trained by AI. Someone will make a picture that looks like my picture with AI. That's why I think doing shows like this, I'm a real person. I'm real. I'm here. I'm talking. You see me. You know me. You trust me, maybe. But at least I'm real, right? So that's what is good about this kind of content. Hold on one second. I'm getting a phone call again. Give me... Hello?
Hello, Noah. This is AI Noah. I have been working on the show since the year 2026. Unfortunately, we do not need you anymore. You learned how to be a plumber, right? Anyway, thank you and goodbye.
Really? Well, try that again.
Hello, Noah. I have been working on the show for 300 years. You are no longer needed. Thank you and goodbye.
That cost me so much money to do. And I didn't put in all that much effort. Apparently, I used up all of the water in New York State to make those 2 AI videos. I'm real. Those were not me. Am I real? Next caller, Stuart.
Hey Noah, it's Stuart from Melbourne. Got a bit of a cultural question for you today. Halloween's coming up. Believe it or not, it's becoming a big thing here in Australia. What's the deal with Halloween? And what happens if you don't treat? No one seems to have any definitive answers on this. Love to hear your input. Also, when I'm out photographing all day, as I did yesterday, there comes a point where I feel my creative mojo fizzles. Do you ever suffer from that? Talk to you soon. Bye.
Stuart, thanks for the call. Glad to hear from you down under, Melbourne. First things first, creative mojo fizzling after being out there. Yeah, that's normal. And in fact, like I often now shoot in the morning and I get to a point and I'm like, I'm done. Enough is enough. I don't need to do anymore. And that's mostly because I'm not going out just to like shoot to shoot. I'm shooting with intention. And at a certain point, I feel like I got what I'm going to get and the light's the way it's going to be and it's not going to get any better. And then it's done. You don't have to do marathon photo sessions, like just get a couple. You're going to take 100 pictures in a day. Maybe you're lucky if you're going to get one. That's fine. One a day. Halloween. What is it about? What is it? Well, it's a holiday that happens on October 31st, and this is not a federal holiday. This is a fun holiday. What's the point of it? I don't know. The point is mostly for kids to dress up, costumes, have fun. There's like trick or treat. You give out candy. I'm sure there's like some tie-in with candy manufacturers and sugar, and we like just to feed, it's a consumerism holiday. People spend a lot of money on candy and then to give to kids and make them fat, but then also like all the costumes and all the money in that. But there is a creative element to it to a certain extent. When I was a kid, we did Halloween. It was fun. And I mean, Halloween, it like conjures this time of year, this autumn colors and things dying. And then, there's a big death and ghosts and spookiness, spooky season, some people will call it. You see spider webs all over now. It's especially in the northeast of the United States. It's really sort of, it's a holiday that like marks a certain time on the calendar, especially for us up here. It's weird when I would go to Florida or anywhere south where it's like warm and you see Halloween stuff. It doesn't feel right. Whatever, Halloween. So it's mostly for kids, but of course, it's hard for adults to give this up. And I think young adults into their 30s and then even beyond will never give it up and use it as an excuse to hang out and party and dress up and have fun with their friends. I'm not a fun person. But anyway, going back to when I was a kid, that's what you did. Like school, you'd even dress up. You'd go to school dressed up in costumes. Then when we got a little older, I grew up in the suburbs on Long Island, and my friends and I, we'd walk around the neighborhood and trick or treat, which is you go up to a house and you ring the doorbell, they answer it and they give you candy, and then you go on. And we used to love this, my friends and I. And then we got to an age, I guess maybe between like 10 and 13. I'm not entirely sure. I was able to find like one photo of me and my friends. We were kind of hoodlums. And what we did in our very particular part of Long Island, we would get shaving cream and make the nozzle so when you sprayed it, it came out like it would like shoot far. So we'd just go around with cans of shaving cream and shaving cream the whole neighborhood and each other. We'd come back completely covered in this shit. It was mayhem. It was crazy. I can't even believe my mom let me do it. And in fact, like I asked her about it and she has barely any recollection of this. She always thought I was like cute, fun kids. And I was like, we weren't cute. We were like going out and like destroying the neighborhood. It was like we'd walk miles and then come back completely covered in this shit. I don't have any photos of this, but I was looking it up, shaving cream, New York Halloween, and I found this one from like the 80s. Check this out.
What about this roving gang of Brooklyn shaving cream spreaders?
I'm spraying shaving cream. Say with my friends.
On yourself or?
On myself and my friends.
Okay, is this a Halloween tradition here in Brooklyn?
Yes, definitely.
But what about this woman with shaving cream on her car?
They're having a good time.
Could have been worse.
Could have been eggs.
Eggs? What are you going to do with eggs?
They're gonna throw them at people. We're gonna cook dinner.
I'm gonna hit this kid over here. See?
New York police say they will be out in force to make sure no one violates the spirit of Halloween or the law.
That's wild, right? I mean, I didn't like the eggs. Some people did toilet paper. I didn't like that stuff. I really didn't like truly vandalizing people's homes, obviously. But the shaving cream like washed away, so it wasn't that big of a deal, and it was mostly fights between me and my friends. I don't think it's a thing anymore. I don't know. That's Halloween. I know in more rural areas they'll do a thing called trunk or treat, where they'll put all the kids on the back of a tractor and bring them to one specific location just to consolidate the trick-or-treating, so you're not like walking country roads like for miles on end before you get to a house. As you get older, there's like a sexy component. People like to do it. It makes them a little horny. They dress up. They dress as a nurse or, a doctor. And it's some kind of party foreplay. I have some photos from when I was in college, some Polaroids I did with my friends. It was a time, you drink. I remember doing this deep into my 30s, but then eventually stopping because I kind of don't want to do that anymore. I'm not cool or a fun time. People do this crazy shit around here with like the skeletons now that they really go all out, put stuff all over their homes. It's kind of ridiculous, but again, if you have kids, it's kind of fun, I guess. That's the show for today. Thank you so much if you're still here. I appreciate it. Do the stuff, like, subscribe, call the number. It's in the description below. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/The Hotline Show. Doing some really fun sort of studio sessions where I talk at the computer. I've really been enjoying doing that. I'll probably do one a week. Till we meet again next week. Maybe.